Hello my beautiful friends, and welcome to today's video on choosing your style logic. In recent videos we've been talking about the concept of a style logic and how to use it. If you are just joining us now, I am going to link the playlist below so you can catch up and be like, what is this? As you have been watching these videos, it's very likely that you have been thinking like, well, hang on, Rita, I'm not sure which one I am. There's 4 style keys. I'm inspired by the situation and by my inner world. I want to dress for my personal experience, and other days I want to focus on the impression I'm making. And the natural question is like, okay, so how do I proceed? Like, do I use the system? Should I use multiple keys? How do I choose? So I first do want to remind you that Style Class by Rita is a free world. You can freestyle and do your own thing, like loosely inspired by the system. I'm not offended. But I am here in this video to help you use the style key in the way I teach it. So I am going to give you advice as if we were having like a consultation together. So first of all, let's just note it is totally normal and it is expected that you could relate to multiple style logics. For example, it makes sense to care both the inner and the outer world, right? We all have this inner world, we want to be authentic to it. We all are part of an environment, we want that belonging feeling. So it makes sense to care about both these things and think they're important. But the important way to understand here is to remember the definition of the style logic. The style logic is the decision-making process for style. It's how you choose what to wear or if you're making good decisions. So I know it can feel like subtle or pedantic, but this is really important. Just because you think about something and you care about it and you consider it doesn't mean that's useful or efficient or helpful for actually making the style decisions. So a typical example comes from my Ruby clients. If you remember, Ruby, left down quadrant, is very internally focused. It's all about using style to really connect inwards with the self. And for my clients, in the Ruby key, I encourage them to think about the situation and then kind of put it aside, or think about that as the last step just to make sure it's gonna be okay, right? Because the goal is to clear the mental space, to find that inner point of connection with yourself, inviting in that space the ideas for the colors, the shapes, the images, the feelings, the you of it all. Those using the Ruby key absolutely think and care about this environment, but honestly, a lot of this consideration is to your detriment. It leads you to lose touch with yourself. And when you start thinking about what you're supposed to do, or too much about the situation, you don't make the satisfying style choices, because either you get stuck, you're frozen, you have no idea, you're I just literally don't know. I might just wear the same thing I always wear because I don't know. Or you end up okay, everybody's wearing this, I'm gonna wear that. You're wearing something totally alien to you, and then you feel uncomfortable, you're unhappy, you're disengaged. So what was the point, right? I don't want that for you. I want your style to be like your personal battery. I want it to charge you up. I want that battery to give you energy, confidence, joy. I want it to give you pleasure, whatever you want. And for Ruby, all of that comes from the inside, from being connected to self. So yeah, as a Ruby, you might relate to the Moonstone key. You might think, yeah, I think about the situation too. But if thinking about the situation does not actually help you make your style decisions, it's not the best path for you. That's not where your process should start, right? That's not a good starting place for you. So that's the first point, is to understand that we are looking for efficient strategies for making style decisions. But at this point, you might still be like, well, hang on, Rita, because some days it is really helpful for me to focus on the impression I want to make, as if I was a left up amethyst. And then other days, it is really helpful for me just to focus on the experience I want to have, as if I were a left down ruby, right? Both of these thought processes work for me sometimes. And I want to say this experience is totally valid. Yeah, the short answer is I recommend using one of the keys. I recommend focusing on your home quadrant, the one that most closely aligns with your essence. After working with hundreds of clients, I find it very, very rare that people actually make better style progress, have better looks, and enjoy it more if they think in terms of the 2 quadrants and go back and forth. Usually one of those is like a safety quadrant that the person doesn't actually gain anything from, but they don't want to kind of let it go. This finding that it's not helpful with multiple quadrants was really surprising to me, but it is definitely the reality I've observed. I feel really confident about this perspective, and it really has changed the way that I present and the way I teach the system because I want it to work for you guys. Okay, so I definitely have clients who like take inspiration from a neighboring quadrant, especially visually, right? Or feel like, oh, I'm like gonna play with ideas from this quadrant. Okay, like fine, and that's totally fine. But strongly believe that the vast majority of people using the system, you're gonna gain the most by focusing on one key, and that's style logic. Because the style logic is like a skill. The more you practice it, the better you're gonna get, the more fun it is, and the further you go with it, the easier it is, right? It's like you just get better. So my practical advice is pick one and do it. And when you find yourself going into the other key, practice kind of taking that thought and turning it back to the home base. So for example, if you're using the Moonstone key, and so your logic is thinking about you, right? You're all about you, you're the main character, you have your situation, you have an environment, and you're like, I need to pick an outfit that supports what I need based on what I'm up to. So your goal is to focus on you and how style feels, but you might be like, well, on a specific day, I have an important meeting, so I want to think about the impression. And I often hear this, right? You're like, I want to come across as intimidating, I want to be powerful, I want to get respect. I want those impression, and okay, it's fine. Right, but if you want to go deeper into the Moonstone journey, if you want to try it, we could turn this perspective around and say instead like, well, what I really need is something that makes me feel powerful. I need to feel really powerful. I need something that makes me feel like I'm a person who deserves respect. I want to look and feel like a person that commands attention. So it's really this inward like approval that you're searching, that feeling much more. And it's this difference when I explain to people, it can seem so, again, like pedantic and trivial because it's the same thing, just a slightly different angle. But having worked with people through situations, you will be so surprised how the outfit that comes from the different perspective changes. And in so many cases, I mean, it will lead you to a better experience with that meeting, with whatever, just to tweak it that way. So that's my practical advice, right? To kind of loop back to that thing, right? So, or if you're a Sapphire right up and you're like, but I want my inner landscape. It's like, okay, so what's missing? What is it that I want to bring maybe? Like what message is missing from me? Okay. I also want to just like to get a bit philosophical and reflective. I was thinking about how our relationship with categories is so interesting because on the one hand, we really want to know what category we belong to, whether that's essence, personality, whatever, right? On the other hand, categorization always activates a bit of a dissenting impulse. Like, well, I'm not just that thing. Or like, who says I can't be this other thing too? And I've seen this in my clients, right? You have this really strong left essence and you're like, but I want to be dreamy and inspiring, and my answer, or like right women, they're like, I want to be sensual. And my answer is like, yeah, I mean, that's being a person. Nobody wants you to be a one-dimensional being. I don't want that. The point isn't that you would never relate to anything outside of your quadrant, right? The point is that your home quadrant gives you validation. You feel seen, you feel understood, you feel supported, you feel inspired, you feel confident, and you get useful tools for moving forward. So it's giving you a lot. Because I don't think the best system is the one where people feel like, oh, I fit perfectly into this box. This is the box, and this quadrant exactly captures the full totality of me, right? That's not the goal. I think the best system is the one fully exploring and applying this category, this tool strongly helps me to find a style that does reflect the full totality of me, right? So the tool doesn't need to be 100% perfect. It's more like the result is the best one you can get. So it's worth putting yourself in that box and excluding some things for the sake of what you get out of it. I think sometimes we get so caught up in this reactive feeling of like being limited that we do miss on the value of the tool. So obviously, if it makes you feel like bad, if it genuinely hurts your heart, gets on your tummy, that you like have to focus on how clothes feel for you, and you're not allowed to focus on how you're coming across. Like if this is just sad, I'm not forcing you. I want you I'm disforcing you. I want you to X out the video. I'll see you in a little while. Like take a break, right? But if you're pretty sure which key works for you, you have like an idea and you're just kind of second guessing, forcing yourself to go in circles back and forth and hesitating, I do warmly invite you just to like release a bit of that tension. Just be like, there is an answer. I'm just gonna go with the one. The StyleLogics exist to help you. They're meant to be a puzzle that your brain likes to solve. Like the goal is to ask you questions which you enjoy answering. And at the same time, it's not always intuitive. That's really important to mention, especially if you've been pushing yourself in kind of the wrong direction, if you've been pushed by others in a wrong direction your whole life. Like if you're this amethyst who's been hiding her whole life and holding back, it might feel super scary and unusual and weird to ask what you want to show. Or if you're a sapphire who's having like a bit of an ice queen moment, like thinking about what you want to contribute to a situation or how you want to come across, just like, it can feel so, But in my experience, still, like if that's your quadrant, even if it feels, it's a very enriching learning process, and it does get easier because fundamentally it is aligned with your style goals, with your essence. It is designed, as I said, to be that puzzle your brain likes to solve. So I strongly believe that choosing one of the keys, applying it, is the way forward. If you relate to two of the keys, which one feels better? Which archetypes, the keywords, the aesthetics, what speaks to you? Where do you recognize some part of your heart? You know, it's hard to analyze our own essence, I know that. But still, which way of presenting yourself feels the most empowering? Like it's challenging, a little bit scary, but it's also like possible and respects some like sort of core within you. That's the goal of the system, is to support that style heart. Once more, I want to remind you about the courses I've created, the foundations courses, which help you actually practice putting the style logic to use. If you're like, I want to do style homework in my free time, Rita, they're really amazing. Okay, this is like very thoughtfully designed thing. So each course has 3 style activities that really take you step by step through using the logic, so it stops being this abstract thing. And it's like, oh, okay, this is literally how I do it, right? So there's a wardrobe audit where you figure out what's going on with your style and where you want to put in the effort. There's an outfit review exercise. So you take an outfit and then I guide you through what are the questions you want to ask yourself. So like for Ruby, we start with how does it feel on the body? How does it feel like about me? And then the last question is like, how does it work in my situation? So I walk you through the process as it works for you. And the third is an outfit upgrade. So you take an outfit and then you think about what are some improvements you can make, and I relate that to your goals, your key. It's really good. Style, yeah, the foundations courses, people say when they get their foundations course, it's like, oh, everything finally clicked. I totally understood it. It really made sense. I was able to actually understand what's going wrong, and I have some ideas for how to move forward. But on the other hand, when people have the wrong foundations course, they say it just feels like a totally foreign language to them. Like it makes no sense. Somebody told me it was like trying to put their left foot into the right shoe, you know. So if that's true for you, just email me and I'll get you the different course to try, because we want you to have the left foot in the left shoe. In the future videos, I definitely want to talk about StyleLogic more. I want to look at examples of people using StyleLogics, like real or fictional, and talk about how would they create real outfits by using the StyleLogic, other style systems, their life considerations. But for now, I feel like it's been enough with the StyleLogics already. So I'm going to continue making short informational videos. I'm going to focus on the archetypes in my system because I love them so much. So that's what's going to come up next. I will see you there. Bye!